rotate her to get more farm later on, because she's still going to be weak at that stage of the game and going to be very dependent on her team funneling the farm into her.
I have to be open and upfront about this though. I have never seen Yuki play Tristana, ever. And in fact, when I think about it, the kind of AD carries that he typically plays are not hyper carry AD carries.
You're right. I still don't know if this is a legitimate pick or not. I mean, it may not be. Nothing I can tell you either way to say, yes, it's definitely a legitimate pick. No, it's definitely not. See if they had some kind of arrangement going on there, or if it was the Tristana deliberately. It was a deliberate Tristana pick, so something he's been preparing here. Now remember, guys, there's quite a lot on the line here. There's a $2,300 prize pool, I believe, on the line for this one game, actually, since Gamers2 are now on match point. But
I wonder though, Spud. I wonder if they're going for the explosive shot, healing debuff window. But would they really pick their AD carry just to counter the healing regen of Mundo? That seems like a far stretch to me.
Yeah, especially when you can put Morellonomicon onto Ocelot anyway. It could work pretty well. So I don't see that being the reason they picked this. I think they're going for like a really fast push plan here. They are just going to push in as fast as they possibly can. I think they're going to be happy to accept the 2v1 in this situation, even against Jinx. And they're probably just going to try and constantly keep Tristana pushing the lanes. This is something that Tristana has been used for traditionally. We actually see it occasionally, a static Shiv rush Tristana. So she just shoves waves almost as soon as she gets into the lane, shoves them out, rotates somewhere else, shoves that lane, and forces the enemy to always be on the defensive because she's pushing just so damn fast. But obviously, we will see what their plan is when we actually get into the game. So guys, do not go anywhere. 3-minute delay timer ticking down as we speak, and we will be back as soon as it's on.
Transform your state of mind. Transform your state of mind.
Hello ladies and gents, for what could be the final time for today, welcome back to the Hitbox Challenger Face-Off between Gamers2 and denial.eu. I'm Edis, joined by Spuddington, and as you can see we are on the Rift. This is the first time I believe we haven't had a pause as well, so nice little surprises.
Yeah, maybe so, but it does look like Denial are very keen to get going. Super early pink ward there, we'll see how long that one lasts. Went down at about 50 seconds. They are going into the enemy jungle here. They've warded it, so now they'll probably just back out.
Yep, that seems to be the way forward. They want to get that vision control in and know exactly what's happening. Want to know pretty much where the jungler is going to start on the side of Gamers2, where they want to see if Morden's going to be starting red, if he's going to go to his blue afterwards, or potentially go for the steal. And that's going to give them the vision and try and catch him out.
Yeah, so they do have a strong early jungler duelist. And remember, of course, Elise versus Kha'Zix specifically is a surprisingly difficult 1v1 for Kha'Zix, simply because when she switches into her spider form, spiderlings prevent the isolation damage on Taste Their Fear. But one thing that is quite interesting right now is that Gamers2's bot lane is heading up here to this top lane. This has been spotted, and it looks like Woolite and Super A's are actually going to be heading down to the bottom lane. They want this 2v1.
Yeah, Jinx is a pretty good tower pusher and very good at pushing creeps as well because, of course, as we mentioned so often, the switcheroo, which you can go between the rocket launcher and minigun. Minigun will proc up, give you additional attack speed, so it's very good taking down towers and also pushing 1v2 lanes. But on the flip side, Yuki and Dude on Tristana and Leona respectively are going to give Mundo a lot of problems here. And in fact, Babunia instead is just like, screw this, I'm going to try and get my level 2 and then go back up towards the top lane. They may even try a 3-man push actually, depending on how Mundo feels.
Yeah, this is fairly standard stuff, but I really like this little ploy here by Kikis. Knowing where Kha'Zix was, he went straight to the blue and has stolen it away. So Morden now, if he wants to go to the top lane to help with this push, he's going to be a little bit behind where Kikis is, and that will cost him if it comes down to the straight up push, because we have Mundo teleporting in up there, and at least circling around to join up. Mundo is also level 2, so it's going to be there won't be any dive potential here. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, not just yet, especially as Kikis is coming up as well. This would just be a very dangerous position for Gamers2 to walk into. And they don't want Mundo to get fed early and become that huge, unkillable machine. So, Yuki, you'd more than all going to try and just get a few auto attacks off. But here comes JWoww, so they are looking for this 4-man push. But in doing so, they're sacrificing their own bot tower. They have to be aggressive here.
Yeah, they have to take the tower, and they've got a lot of potential here to push people away, but it's this buff steal that's really going to make the difference. Morden is not level 3, and he cannot, therefore, be the man to tank the tower. JWoww, level 1, also going to find it very difficult, and the wave clear is good here from Elise, so this is actually clever stuff here from Denial.
Yeah, it certainly is. Our poll results are in. 61.2% of you feel that Jinx Annie for Denial is the best bot lane pickup, whereas 6.1% undecided.
Well, I can understand being undecided in this situation, honestly. Like, I'm a bit undecided myself, and it's very, very situational here. Obviously, in a 2-on-2, actually, even then I'm undecided, because I'm not really sure who would be coming out on top there. Both sides would have a lot of burst, and I guess Tristana and Leona would spike earlier, so maybe I'd actually favour that one. And certainly that seems to be the case for Woolite, because he's really not wanted he really did not want that 2v2 there in the top lane. But now it looks like 2v2 in the top 2v1 in the top lane from Gamers2. It's been a long day. Is starting to have problems because now Babunia is level 4, and how do you push in against this?
It's very difficult too, and remember this lane switch up and this play was instigated by Gamers2, and it has backfired pretty horribly right now. Jinx and Annie are staying at bot lane. They're not going to be going to the top to try and keep this tower alive, realizing that Babunia is doing a good enough job by himself, and they may even try and push the second tower, because Irelia can't do a great deal to stop it at this point, plus Elise is joining the ranks as well.
Yeah, they've also got the double stuns, chaining that into the root from the Flame Chompers. A lot of CC and a lot of damage can come down from this comp here. This 3-man push here in the bot lane. Babunia Well, he may lose his tower soon, but Gamers2, they are taking a lot of damage on their towers. Stun did just whiff from Kikis though, so they're not going to be able to burst down JWoww just yet, and it may only be that they're going to get a bit of damage down here.
Yeah, Babunia's done a phenomenal job of keeping that top tower alive, and in doing so, actually, Leona has forced to come to bot lane to stop this secondary tower from falling. So, Babunia's done a brilliant job, and now he's actually going at Yuki.
Yeah, but the summoner heal is pretty big there, so Yuki will be able to chase this, but not enough. He went under the tower. The minions are killing him. He had to flash out to avoid the aggro from the cannon creep there. Meanwhile, in bot lane, indeed, Woolite now going to be healing to get the movement speed. Ocelot has roamed down, but is getting bursted super hard by Kikis. Chased off to the side, repels after him, gets the first blood. Now it's Kikis being chased down by a large number of people. And indeed, we have a 3-man stun coming in from Super Ace. Morden has gotten stunned by the cocoon, and a lot of burst went down on that 3-man in question. Dude now gonna be lined up for Ziggs, and that was a nice kill.
3 points from downtown from Ziggs there, and this could not have started much worse from Gamers2. Everything they've tried has gone wrong. JWoww could be falling as well.
Oh, he is so dead. Bye. That means the tower will drop pretty much as a guarantee there. And the top tower is still standing for Babunia. I mean, he's not going to be able to hold it for long, but yeah, it's up for now.
Denial has near enough played this game so far perfectly. I can't see any mistakes they've made. They've kept their top tower alive. They've pushed 2 towers at bot. They're 4-0 ahead. Every single aspect, they are playing so well together. And a complete role reversal from the last game where we saw them getting crushed.
Yeah, and it was such a good plan, that level 1, where they went for the invade, got the ward, were able to ensure their 2v1 as a result of that, and then they stole the buff away, meaning that they couldn't get that push down from Morden. And Elise is unique as well. This is why this play is so clever, is because it completely depended on the picks they've chosen. Like, it could only really work for maybe this team comp minus maybe Annie, because of the fact that Elise's wave clear was so good in the top lane. Very few other junglers can do that at range.
Yeah, that is true. But where is this leaving Gamers2 right now, Spud? Because across the board, they're getting crushed. Okay, Aurelia's going to get some free farm, going to be able to freeze the lane, very reminiscent from the previous game. But this is just going to allow denial.eu to push down mid if they want, to push down top if they want, and they're going to get complete control over Dragon. There is such a large chunk of land that is no longer belonging to Gamers2. They can't even hope to get close to stop these objectives from falling.
Yeah, that is definitely true, and the fact that JWoww is down there means that, well, they will get the top tower, but the dragon goes away from them, and the rotation to the mid lane here is very likely to come in, and with Ziggs as well, the tower pushing is just immense coming out of Denial.
This is quickly hemorrhaging to a point where Gamers2 have to dig in deep.
That is such a good way of breaking the freeze. Ziggs ultimate just went down to the bottom lane onto JWoww. Actually, it's not going to break the freeze. It's going to force him to tank the wave. But it's going to force him to stay down there for a lot longer. And now, here comes the mid tower.
Very, very smart play from NIQ, just keeping their foot on the throat of Gamers2. They have picked up that tower and are looking for the second one. And with the tower pushing capabilities they have, they can pick this up.
Yeah, they did get the stun there and also a bit of damage followed up. NIQ actually tanking the tower. I don't think he was aware of that, but he certainly was doing it. May slow down that push a little bit now because he's out of mana, a little bit low on health. Still, significant chunk taken out of that mid tower. Gamers2 are going to be forced to try and defend with quite a significant gold gap at this level.
Yeah, definitely. And even though they didn't pick up that mid tower, I didn't quite catch how many creeps they didn't have in that occasion. They still did a big chunk of damage to it regardless. Took about a third of its health away. And this is, again, it's just putting them in prime position for any dragon that when it respawns, pretty much pushing top at their leisure. Babunia's constantly been there. He's now picked up 76 CS to Irelia's 40. And Irelia has been freezing that lane for the last 3 or 4 minutes and is still that far behind. That is so big for Babunia.
Yeah, he's been allowed to get a lot of farm, and interestingly, AD carries very, very similar, even though Yuki has been spending, again, a lot of time spent farming up, and now actually does manage to land on Babunia, gets the exhaust down. Super Ace is here though, stun will come in just a second, and the healing is in from Babunia. I said the stun would come in, I was wrong. He decided not to stun, but that was because they'd already basically gotten away with that summoner heal.
Yeah. I really like that from Super Rays, not pulling the trigger prematurely. Healing for Bunya at the time was quite low, plus the fact they weren't in close proximity to Yuki, who could just rocket jump away. Very, very smart from Super Rays. Sometimes playing kind of steady and playing patient is the best way forward, and now they can try it. There we go, rocket jump has been forced away.
Yeah, Super Rays. His flash comes up in 3, so if Gamers2 stick around up here, they've got to be a little bit careful about that. Especially considering they are not yet level 6 with Leona.
Yeah, but again, they're sieging this tower. Again, they're looking for more objectives, and constantly Gamers2 on the back foot. They're playing defensive. They are not dictating the pace. When you have a Kha'Zix jungle, that's exactly what you want to do. You want to be getting him farmed and fed and snowballing. But Morn has been yet to be able to pick up any kills. 0, in fact, in the entirety of Gamers2.
Yeah, indeed. They have mobbed the area. Morden, he's going to have to get out of here in a hurry. Kikis does get the stun down. Ton of damage coming out of NIQ. They will pick that kill up almost instantly. And now Dude has been forced again into the global ultimates. Can Yuki even get away from here? Flash Cocoon doesn't land. Babunia chasing it down. Cleaver just whiffs. He's not done yet, though. He's continuing the chase. Does land a Cleaver, doesn't land a kill. That doesn't really matter. They just got another tower and another 2 kills.
Gamers2 desperately need to apply a bandage here. They need to put something to stop this blood from hemorrhaging out of their game. But the problem is, though, Spud, they can't. They don't have great wave clear. They haven't been able to engage at all in this game. They've constantly been playing defensively. And Ocelot has been... I don't want to pin it all on him, but he's been absent in this game. He hasn't been playing anywhere near as opportunistic or play-making position as we've seen in the previous 3 games.
Yeah, indeed. He will now fight NIQ, doing a bit of damage here. Doesn't really have the follow-up. And this is one of the problems about Lulu, though. She's not very good alone. And if you're in a situation like this, where you're so far behind across the board, and the only one who's actually doing okay is your mid lane farm, and I guess in this case Tristana, but she's not going to be spiking for a long, long time, you just don't have many options. You can't create picks very easily with very little damage that Lulu provides. She's good if other sources of damage are around, but there just aren't that many on Gamers2 right now.
Yeah, definitely. The thing is that Gamers2 can still win, but it's gonna have to be a slow, stalling, turtle kind of game from them for the next 15 or so minutes. They're gonna need Tristana to get some items so she can become that hyper carry that we remember from Season 2 and parts of Season 3. Until that point, though, they don't actually have a great deal of damage. Lulu is more of a utility mid laner, and Super Rays could actually get Morden.
Yeah, they're chasing that. Wow, them globals. Oh, but the damage reduction is just enough to keep Morden alive.
Well, it was a good idea. They do force Morden away, though, so this could actually transition nicely into a tower. So even though they didn't get the kill, they're still going to get the objective.
Yep, and they will. There's just so much tower pushing. It's crazy from Denial. They've just taken another tower, forced Ocelot away from it by getting the cocoon and actually getting another cocoon. Will they chase it down? They're getting a lot of damage on him. He did repel up, but just kind of playing the fun game. Actually, NIQ, sorry, playing the fun game of basketball. Goes for the dunk down bomb, and JWoww has to flash out as well. This is looking like it could be an inhib here because Bavunia's going to keep pushing top, and someone's going to have to respond to him as well.
I'm just going to throw this out here, Spud. I have never seen Gamers2 been beaten this hard before. Ever.
Yeah, I think you're right there. I don't think I've seen it either. Super Rays looking for more than their flashed. Missed the stun, though. Or didn't actually have the stun charge, I'm not sure. But Yuki there. It's bursted for 70% of his health, and Babunia's rotating down to this area. This is... yeah, wow, this gap at this stage of the game.
I think that Gamers2 are just shell-shocked. They don't know what's hit them. It's going to be another dragon as well, because there is such a huge advantage in the favour of denial.eu, and this is going to test the steel. This is going to test the tenacity from Gamers2. Can they bounce back from that? That's one of the true markings of a great team, but the problem is they're already nearly 9,000 gold behind at 15 minutes through the game. 9,000 gold at this stage is game-breaking. There are no two ways about it. That is colossal.
Yeah, 9,000 would be a big gap at like 25 minutes, 30 minutes even. It's huge at this stage of the game proportionally, and Gamers2 just accidentally donated their blue buff to the wrong person, but it's okay, nobody saw that more.
Except for 2,000 people.
Except for everyone there. Yeah, that was a bit of an iffy decision-making bit there. Or red buff, I guess, just ticked one more time. Ocelot misjudged the damage. Whichever way you want to put it, it's not good anyway, especially when you're so desperately crying out for wave clear. And Ocelot is really the only one that can provide that. Not that wave clear is necessarily as relevant when the next pushing target may well be an open inhib.
I have to say, this is a very interesting first item for Tristana, a Bloodthirster. I'm not saying it's wrong or it's particularly right, it's just an interesting one. A lot of Tristanas will go for stuff like Infinity Edge or Blade of the Rune King even. But yeah, Bloodthirster, that's a ballsy statement. And unfortunately, Trist has been unable to really chime together too many auto attacks to even do damage in the first place. That's the issue they face right now. They're constantly being collapsed on, and when you get collapsed on as an AD carry, your first instinct is to run.
I guess the logic is literally just, this is the thing that will give me the most damage right now. Because they need that leg up right now. With Yuki, though, I just don't... Yeah, you're right. He can't get near them now. He's trying, but he's just getting poked out. He's actually in kill range. There we go. We see the rocket. Was predicted there, I think, by Yuki, but that's an inhib gone. 16 minutes in, 25 seconds, 10 seconds, sorry. I can't count till 17 minutes, and then, you know, that's already a stage where you don't see teams getting this far behind, not unless it's like a woefully unfair matchup.
Yeah, and even though that ultimate was telegraphed from Woolite, it doesn't really matter. They still got the inhibitor, they still forced them back, and the cooldown on the ulti is not that big. Also a lot. Oh god, that's the wild growth used just to keep him alive.
Yeah, and now we're seeing the ultimate drop. Yuki's going to be forced out, Ocelot's going to be forced out, Morden's going to be forced out as well, and now they're just tanking it up. Kikis is quite happy to do that. They'll be able to get that tower. That is the second inhib tower at 17 minutes 30. The super minions starting to pour towards the base in this mid lane. We're seeing the first wave coming down, and well, they're going to be perfectly happy to disengage from that. Let's just let the minions do the work for now. We can go back and shop because we just picked up like 7 towers or whatever it is, some ridiculous figure in that last push, and then go back for the next push.
Well then, this is quite brutal. Yeah. I can't really convey to you how much of an uphill challenge this is going to be for Gamers2 to bring this game back. I would say a small glimmer of hope, and I mean microscopically small, is that they've got Irelia and Tristana, both of which scale very well. But yeah, you can't really scale if your Nexus is being beaten down at around 20 minutes. So, you know, it just across the board, it doesn't look good.
Looking at this game, you would not think that Gamers2 was up in this series going into this game.
No, definitely not.
Kind of putting pay to our prediction as well, saying, well, that must have hurt Denial's morale. Apparently not. Apparently very much not.
They don't give a damn. They're just going to bounce back as hard as possible.
Oh, they may be able to catch Woolite or Super A's. No, they're going to be a little bit too cautious. And I honestly think Dude maybe should have just gone for that, like Solar Flare. Is this... Oh, they're going to catch Woolite though. They will get him. No way out of that one. It's like the first mistake I think I've seen them make. But yeah, that's all it starts. You know, sometimes that's all it starts. All that's necessary in order to start an avalanche. But they're strong enough that 4v5 fights are a consideration for them. And even if they're not willing to go for a fight 4v5, going for a push while Super Minion split push for you is very much an option.
Very... I don't want to use the word dumb from Woolite, but it's getting into dumb territory being caught there. I don't know if they're over exuberant, if they're overconfident at this stage in the game, but they can't afford to do that too many more times. They are well and truly ahead, make no mistakes about it, but Woolite giving away, gift wrapping free kills to Tristana, that's never a smart thing to do.
No, definitely not, but... Well, there is still a big gap, but the engage comes in. Gamers2 looking for the follow-up here. We have the ultimate onto Dude, but he's not really doing anything more. Tanks out that missile there coming across, but more than kills Super Rays. Meanwhile, in the bottom area, we have JWoww trying to fight off Kikis. Ocelot looking for that kill, and Babunia there dropping to Gamers2. Ocelot wants to chase down NIQ. He flashes over the stun. Will he be able to pick that up? Yes, he does. Helppix gets that. Kikis going to be trying to get out of here. Repels out. Jumps away. Can the missiles land? No, they cannot. And now Jinx is here. Will she be able to kill, or will she be killed? Doesn't look like either.
Why, oh why, oh why would denial.eu in a position they could be caught? Woolite's now going one-on-one against Ocelot.
Yes, he is, and that is not a good thing to fight, although arguably it's worth it, because if you look, JWoww, he's being crushed. He can't fight these minions. They're doing way too much damage at this stage,
Teleport.
and Babunia is teleporting in order to finish off the tower. And I don't even know if, even if everyone recalls now on Gamers2, can they hold this minion wave and Babunia? He's so tanky. He's trying to distract them away. JWoww tanking the minions, taking a ton of damage. Babunia being dumped on by everyone, but they just can't kill him. And here's Super Ace. He's got the stun onto 2 or 3 people there. Super Ace getting tanked out, but this may have been a little bit overeager here, but it just doesn't seem to matter. Babunia going very low. He will drop in the end. And the super minions are continuing to push in. But, wow, that was close.
Yeah, this is buying up enough time for them, though, to go for that last inhibitor tower and potentially pick it up. Both Nexus towers are dead. Oh, Yuki! Rocket up the backside.
Ow!
To finish this game.
That's gotta hurt. And there will be another inhib coming down any second. Morden in trouble, getting cocooned. This inhib is going to drop, and you've got to give props to Denial for this game. They have so played that well. Like, I was criticizing their rotations last game. This game, oh boy, did they outplay Gamers2 on that front. They were just all over the map. And now will I actually... Good play, JWoww. Good job. I don't think it's going to change anything, though. We have all the buildings on the map that aren't called the Nexus taken out at 22 minutes. NIQ in trouble here. And chased by Morden. Stun misses. He still wants this, I think, but 9 seconds till the jump comes up, so he's not going to get it.
Well, oh, he's landed a cocoon on Morden.
Oh! Hello, Morden?
Enough. No.
He got out. It's fine.
Yeah. So this
Totally
game,
fine.
Even though Woolite kind of soiled himself for a few seconds there in the jungle, they were still so far ahead it didn't matter at the end of the day. And this game is going to finish very shortly. All 3 inhibitors are dead, no Nexus towers. I mean, this is effectively Gamers2 circling the drain. They're on life support, and it's not going to last much longer.
Yeah, if they held this, it would be the most, like, unbelievable. Like, God himself could not turn around this game at this point for Gamers2. And again, JWoww is making a good effort, but double super minion waves are going to be pouring into the base right about, actually not this wave, but the next wave coming up. And that's going to start piling up to a degree where it's difficult enough to play PvE for Gamers2.
I'd say half a mind right now. Maybe even 90% of Gamers2 mind is on that 5th game right now. They just say, okay, let's chill out a tiny bit before that 5th game goes. Let's try and figure out what worked, what didn't work, what we're going to do next game, what potential bans and picks, because of course they were first pick and ban this game. So the final game, as I'm assuming it is going to go into the final game, will be for Team denial.eu, which is pretty important actually.
Brings it to 2-2, assuming they win it. But here we go. Dude goes in for Woolite. Woolite just gets deleted pretty quickly there. Super Ace in a lot of trouble. Double kill going down for Kha'Zix. Ocelot chasing down Babunia, taking a lot of damage, but now they're going to have to scramble back to the Nexus. The ultimate comes in from Ziggs. Doesn't quite land on Morden, but that isn't going to matter because JWoww isn't actually going to drop. Gets shielded at the last second to keep the minion damage off. And now everyone in Gamers2 is struggling to survive. Babunia pops his ultimate, runs in for the Nexus. Can he get this? Kikis is certainly trying as well. Minions pushing on that, and it will surely drop any second. Solar Flare on Kikis, but Diu drops, and there we go.
Yeah, they tried valiantly, but everything was stacked against them. Especially at 20. Where did the 3 inhibs go down? Like 21, 22 minutes through the game?
Yeah, about that point. That sounds about right. It actually took longer than I was expecting for Denial to close it out after that point, but wow.
They tried their best. Gamers2, they had a few moments of brilliance in that game, but by and large, denial.eu, they showed what they're made of. They showed they would definitely deserve to be in this finals. They definitely deserve it to go down to the wire. And hey, we called this in the first game. We said we feel this is going to go right down to the wire. That's exactly what it's done. And off that last performance from denial.eu, it's hard to bet against them in this final game.
Yeah, but then again, you think about the game before that, and that was a pretty strong performance from Gamers2. And then the game before that was actually a shutout from Denial. The only really close game we've actually had was the first one. So, hopefully we'll get another one like that one in the final game, whichever way it goes, it will be the final game. Because up next, a 5th game in a best of 5, guys. Do not go anywhere. We will be right back. Follow the channel, bottom left corner of your screen. See you in a minute.